So I'd like to start off by saying I'm sorry and apologizing to our listeners. And Alexa's chiming in from the background.
That's okay. We can leave her in there. She's our robot friend.
So I'm very sorry. We did not get this posted in time because someone didn't want to record last night.
Okay, in fairness, we had a little medical situation, or I had a medical situation last week, and then I just didn't want to, do anything, like do life for a little while. So it took us a little while to get back, but now we're back to normal.
It's officially not blame Tyler, it's blame Shay for this one.
Yeah, it is me. It was my fault this week, but normally it's him, so you can still blame him for being the outlier in this situation. But anyways, this week we did your movie, which was Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans, one of my favorite sports movies, which you didn't even think was a sports movie after you watched it.
That's not fair to say, but anyways, so I'm Shay.
I'm Tyler.
And this is Cinematically Correct.
Cinematically Correct.
And that was awkward.
I know.
Way to make it smooth. Anyway, so
that's how I roll.
This movie was picked because we were trying to do a little bit of a theme for November, fall type or
football season, and it's just
it kind of went to hell in a handbasket. There's really not a lot of theme to this month, but there will be another football type movie.
Yes, there will be.
So at least there's that. But okay, so I guess since it's your movie, do you want to do a brief synopsis, or would you like me to?
I always do the brief synopsis, so I will take over. I
usually have to correct it, but
movie's about a 1971 football team, the Titans. They play for Alexandria T.C. Williams High, which was integrated in that year, combined several schools. And they play up the racial divide through the whole movie. It's decidedly more racist than I remembered because I watched it, 10 years ago or so. And they play football. They come together as a team. The coach is hard, but a lovable, hard-ass coach. That is just what the team needs to forge a cohesive unit and win football games. And they go undefeated and win the state championship.
Okay. So, good synopsis. Good job.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be nice. So I wanted to ask, when you were thinking of the movie, what did you remember the movie was about? Because you obviously didn't remember the race aspect of things. So
well, I did remember that part. That was part of that. I didn't remember it was so much a part of the movie.
So you remembered it more as a team-building, camaraderie type movie.
Yeah, I remembered it more as a heartwarming story of a team coming together despite all odds and achieving the goal of winning the state championship.
It's fair. It's fair. I was just curious because, I haven't seen this movie, so...
Which we also had to correct. That was a requirement.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I saw it. It's a Disney movie, so obviously that was a hole in my Disney repertoire, so I'm happy that we've rectified that situation. So, I don't feel like we need to really do plot by plot point because it's...
Well, it's fairly formulaic in that sense because
right.
It's the procedural... The team doesn't like each other. Then the coach is hard on everyone to make them start liking each other.
Right.
And then they come together and they bond, and that's the movie.
Yeah. So do you want to either go just by big things, or do you want to go by characters?
I don't have a preference either way, honestly. Do you have a preference at all?
I don't. I have a few things I want to say, but they can fit into either one.
Well, I think we can go characters.
Okay.
This movie has a lot of quotable moments.
Okay.
Which is why it's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
When they first meet the coach, why are you smiling? Which is great. Football's not fun anymore, is it? No, sir.
That was with Turk, right?
Turk.
Yes. What was his name in the movie? Petey. That's what it was.
Played by Donald Faison.
Which is also Turk from Scrubs,
yes.
Which is basically what anybody is going to know him by that is our age.
Turkleton.
Anyway, so do you want to start with... Which character you want to start with?
Well, I think the head coach.
Boone,
Coach Herman Boone.
Okay.
No,
go for it. If you want to start on a sour note, we can go for that.
Played by Denzel Washington. And who doesn't love Denzel Washington? He's fantastic in every movie he's ever been in, basically.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like Denzel Washington.
Right. It's impossible.
It's not, yeah.
He plays a very over-the-top football coach, but at the same time, there are a lot of truthful pieces to that based off my experience with coaches in the past.
Okay.
The
tough love type thing?
Well, the very tough love, the whole... He has good intentions, but he's driving them to achieve a purpose and get the best result from the kids. So that resonates with me. The whole we're going to do up, down, it's too blue is no longer thirsty moment. I can totally see a football coach saying that.
Although dangerous.
I mean, I've told a kid when I was coaching football to run until I tell you to stop running. I know I've done that.
Nice.
And then I've left and gotten coffee.
I like how you enjoy torturing people.
Well, it's one of the greatest things about being a football coach. Because we've all shared that experience. If you've played football or been around football, you understand it.
Okay.
So that's basically Coach Boone. He doesn't back down from anything, and he's just very driven.
That's where you're leaving it?
Yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let you pick up from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
He wants me to be the villain of the podcast. Well, okay. So first off, I liked him in the movie, but I didn't love him. I did think he was a little bit too harsh, and I wasn't a huge fan of that tough love because I felt like there is a line between being, tough and being harsh. And he flirted with that line a lot, which actually one of the characters in the movie said that to him. But then, upon researching the movie, we don't know, but allegedly, well, actually, I guess we do. So he got fired from the high school.
Yes.
And
because there's a player mutiny.
Well, so there's a player mutiny, but there's conflicting reports about why he got fired. Some people are saying it was a racially charged dismissal, that they didn't want to have him as a coach anymore. Like, they already did their PR stunt and they don't need to do it anymore. That was one side of it. And then the other side of it was, no, he was really abusive and really nasty to people. Yeah. And the players basically walked out and said, you get rid of him or we're not playing, kind of thing. Right. So, and then apparently after the movie came out, he figured out what type of person Disney was portraying him as, and he became that type of person to make money to now go on speaking events, which he still does today.
Yes.
So
for $15,000 a pop.
Yeah. So I don't know how much is true and how much isn't true. However, it does make sense. And a lot of the quotes, if you look them up online, of things he said before the movie and things he said after the movie are jarringly conflicting. So
we're talking like Donald Trump level conflicting.
Yes. So it's very problematic. And that kind of does taint a little bit how I feel about the movie, because it's one thing to have like a Disney moment type thing, but it's another thing to change an event so much.
100% misrepresent what actually happened.
Right.
So, in that regard. And the line was, there's a line between tough and crazy and you're flirting with it.
Right. And honestly, he was... And if he was worse in real life, then that's...
Well, I mean, I had a coach in high school that was actually let go for that kind of craziness.
Well,
not a football coach; it was a wrestling coach. But one of the parents came in and said he's been here for however many years, and he hasn't been able to build a program because no one wants to be on the team. That's a problem.
Right, and that is, and I mean. So, Bill Yost is the other coach?
Yes.
Apparently, according to an article I read, he, along with two other coaches, went to the school board asking for his dismissal. So, I then read another article saying that him and Bill Yost are still friends today. So, obviously, it's very hard to say what the real truth is, but there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence out there that he wasn't the greatest person in the world. No. So... that is what it is, but it does kind of bug me that we have this wonderful, uplifting movie about football and also racial inequality, and the pivotal character is not the wonderful person that we want him to be. Like, that does kind of bug me a little bit.
I mean, that's true with most things, though. Most people don't live up to their movie portrayals just because it's Hollywood and it's an idealized
Well, true, but portrayal. He didn't even live up to, like, the bare minimum of that.
All right. Well, I suppose that's fair.
But one thing that's true is he did actually force them to sit on the same bus together to kind of forge a friendship. So, I mean,
that works.
That's something,
that's
right?
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, anyway. Other thing that just bothers me about the inaccuracy of the movie is that this school was actually integrated in 1965, and although in 1971 a law came down, I have it here, Swan versus Charlotte Mecklenburg. I may have said the last name wrong because I wrote it horribly, but that law came down requiring busing to be desegregated, I guess. And there were other schools in the area who were not desegregated, and some schools came to this school, to desegregate, but this school itself was desegregated in 1965.
Yeah.
So
he was also the head coach, or he was an assistant coach on the team for 2 years before
2 years
this.
prior.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, it is what it is, but, it does kind of take away from the whole thing when you see all that.
When you put it together and the illusion comes crashing down.
Right.
A little bit. Yeah.
I just realized now that the more characters we get into, the more problems I'm going to have. But it's okay. It's fine. I'm going to be the Debbie Downer of the podcast. It's fine.
So, what did you think about Yost, the assistant head coach?
I mean, I had no issues with him. So, obviously at the beginning he was a little bit standoffish, but in my view, it seemed like he was standoffish because
he lost his job.
Right.
I
didn't see a lot of terrible things coming from him or anything like that. So, any like kind of came up to it. Like, I mean, he accepted it and he did what he needed to do, and he seemed to be kind of the good cop, bad cop with the players.
Well, right. It was he didn't even want to be on the coaching staff, but he saw that the kids that he had coached were going to leave with him and not play. And so for the better, well, at least in the movie, I don't know if this was actually reality.
Yeah, I don't know that part, but
he decided to sign on as the assistant head coach to almost protect the kids from themselves.
Right. So you liked him?
Yes.
Okay.
He also has the greatest football speech of all time in this movie.
This isn't the one that you told me about from before, no, right? There was you told me there was a greatest football speech from all time that a little kid recites on a YouTube video, and
that's hockey, and it's from Miracle.
Damn.
God.
Still a movie I haven't seen, so anyway.
No, this is the I don't want them to gain another yard. We blitz all night. Speech.
Good
goosebumps
speech. Good speech.
Every time I get goosebumps.
So we agree on a character. Woo.
Next is the Lasek kid that you loved.
Lasek kid. Boy Meets World Boy?
Yes.
Oh, he was one of my faves. I loved him so much. He was just so innocent. So he was, what did you say his name was?
Something Lasek.
So he was a little bit of the on chunkier side white kid.
Little bit on the chunk, he's a large person.
Okay.
Darling.
Well, I wasn't trying to be.
He's probably well over 300 or even 400 pounds in this movie.
In Boy Meets World, he plays a wrestler. And he actually plays a very similar character in Boy Meets World, where he's part of this big group of big horrible men, and they're mean to everybody and bullies, and he is
just going with the flow and being nice.
It's so sweet, so nice, just adorable and innocent, and doesn't really have a affiliation, just kind of whatever. So my favorite line from him is when he's having lunch, and they're like, "What are you doing?" "I'm eating lunch." "Why aren't you with your people?" "Well, I don't have people." I don't know if he really didn't know what they were getting at, or if he just was being innocent to, not bring up that stuff. I don't know, but he was just adorable and amazing, and I don't even know if he's real.
I came running.
Yeah, adorable.
That was my favorite line that he said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he was a real character. I couldn't find that anywhere, but he was amazing for the movie and made my heart happy every time I saw him. So, love him.
Yost's daughter.
Oh, we're going to go there? Oh, okay. Give me your opinion first.
Oh, I love this little girl. Awesome.
Nothing else you want to say?
Huh?
Nothing else you want to say about that?
Well, she's not an only child.
No, she's not. There's
4 of them.
Yes. And she's also not alive anymore.
Yeah, she passed away, unfortunately.
Yes.
No, I love the portrayal of the spunky little tomboy girl, which was fantastically done.
Yes.
I mean, Hayden Panettiere killed it.
I did not know it was her. I will admit. I just said, what did I say? Who is this girl? I recognize her. Yeah,
it's Hayden Panettiere, and she was very good for such a young person in this movie.
She was adorable. I did have problems, obviously, with the way that they treated women.
Yeah.
It was most overt with her, but in other aspects, I mean, most of the women... Okay, actually, let me take that back. All of the women
There's like 3 of them.
Started off as villains, pretty much.
She didn't start off as a villain.
No, she started off as being marginalized. It was, she's a girl who likes football, and I believe the quote from Boone's character was, why doesn't she go play with dolls and pretty things, or something to that effect. And they didn't even address it. They just left it there.
No, he said, I tried. She loves football.
Yeah, but like nothing came of that, and that bothered me.
Well, it did come about where Coach Boone was breaking down film with the little girl in his house when she was supposed to be playing with his daughter.
Yeah, but the way they portrayed that was almost like that she was being horrible to the other little girl, ignoring her and not playing with her, not doing the things that girls are supposed to do, and that I know that wasn't the intent, but it did irk me. Like, it irked me. But she was adorable, and I loved her, and I related to her a lot. So I did like her as a character, but the way they treated women... I mean, even Bertie's mother, is that his name? Or what's his
Bertier's
name?
mom.
Bertier, yeah. She was horrible in the beginning. Like, I don't even want to get to know him, she says, about Julius. She was horrible. She did come around, but they didn't give much of that. They just kind of showed that she accepted him, but no... There was no arc. There was no nothing. It was just kind of like she was horrible and then she wasn't horrible. Same thing with the girlfriend. She was horrible, then she wasn't horrible. Like, there was no arc. There was no character development for them.
I do think that Disney did a lot of dramatization on that because it was not the 1960s in like Selma, Alabama type racists. I mean, I'm sure there was very racist back then.
I mean, I obviously was not around, so I can't say
neither
either
of us
way.
was around. Don't make me that old. I mean, damn.
Right. No, but I can't say either way on that. I would like to believe that it wasn't that racist back then. I mean, obviously, the human in me would like to believe that. I can't say either way.
Although we are seeing some of that racism now, and
horribly.
So,
I don't even want to get into that.
I don't know. Maybe it was that racist. Maybe it's always been that racist, and it's really a problem.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know, but regardless, it just the way they treated women in this movie was horrible. Like
didn't pass the Bechdel test.
Not even at all. No.
Well,
no.
That's not surprising. There was a total of 4 female characters in this entire movie.
Yeah, but they could have made at least one of them a decent person. The only
the
one
wife
that
was
could
nice.
I was just gonna say the only one that could have been nice was Boone's wife, and she literally didn't speak. Like there was like maybe 3 lines.
Well, she said something to the effect of, "This world needs a lot more of you."
Oh, good. So she just built up his ego. I'm glad that she had a purpose. Anyway, so move on to another character.
Petey.
Oh, I love him.
Love Petey.
Okay, so I see what you're doing here. You're mixing in the ones I loved with the ones that I had some issues. I like it.
It's been 3 in a row that you liked so far, other than the head coach, Boone.
Well, okay. Well, anyway. So, yes, I did really like him. I liked that they showed character development with him.
And I can honestly say that I do relate to him, the whole not responding well to being yelled at.
Some people don't.
I definitely don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's...
Really? You don't like it?
I don't.
Oh, didn't know.
No. Although I generally respond more with the, well, screw you, I'm going to do it my way just to prove you wrong, so you shut up about it.
I think a lot of people do. Makes sense.
But I love Petey.
Yes, I did too. He was one of my faves.
I mean, he's played by someone that is just really... is a happy person, I feel. Like, I have to believe that he's just a happy person.
I know, he does. I cannot think of a role where he's not happy. I mean, if you guys know of one, let us know. I'd be curious to see him.
Does Donald Faison ever play a serious character?
I'd be actually curious
where he's not
to see
smiling
him.
in the movie?
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see him in a really serious role. So if you guys know of them, let us know, because I don't mean that in a negative at all. Like, he just always seems very happy.
And we mean serious as in the role, not serious as in his occupation, because he plays a doctor on Scrubs. We get it.
Right. But serious like a drama.
Right.
Like, I'd be really curious to see that.
I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah. So there's only a few other characters I really want to get into. Do you have a lot?
Well, there's only like 3 or 4 other main characters. There's Julius.
Okay. I mean, there's really not much to say about him. I hated him when it started. I thought he was just nasty for the point of being nasty, and I didn't think I was going to like him, but they turned that real fast. It was he was horrible for about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, he like had a breakthrough.
Well, he explained why he was being horrible. It was because the team...
I know, but it was real quick.
Right.
Like I mean, the Bertier character, what is his first name? Gary. They had his drag out a little bit longer. Like, we knew. Like, I think I said it right at the beginning of the movie. Like, he's going to be the best character. Because you just knew. But they dragged it out a little more. But with Julius, it was like, anger. Oh, he's a happy-go-lucky, perfect, wonderful guy. I'm like, what the heck? Like, that was very fast.
Right.
But I did like him. You can't not like him.
No, it was understandable in terms of the attitude reflects leadership, Captain. Throwing it in his face was delightful.
I mean, fair. Very fair.
So there's that. Ray, the racist.
Yeah, I mean, nobody likes him. And he's not a real character. That I found out.
Yeah.
He did not exist. They said, in an article, it was said that the players said if a character like that existed in real life, they wouldn't have made it past they wouldn't even got on the bus. Like, that wouldn't have flown. Right. So, that's good to know.
Well, good for them. I mean, self-policing.
Right. That's good to know. Should we talk about... Okay, well, we'll leave Jerry and we'll leave Sunshine to the last.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling's character?
Ryan Gosling's character was interesting because he...
Not real.
Not real?
Not real.
Interesting.
They created him to show how selfless the characters were. Or players were, I'm sorry.
Well, that's understandable because he gave up his spot to Petey.
Right.
And I don't know if I'd have done that.
No, but I mean,
I selfishly like
to play.
He was also
horrible in his spot. He couldn't keep up. He just couldn't. And he knew it. He was self-aware.
Well, right. I mean, there is that. I mean...
being self-aware is something I can pat you on the back for.
Me? Really?
No. Whoa, no. God, don't misinterpret. No. Woohoo! No. All right, so are we getting to the main ones? Or is there others? I think
we're basically there.
Who do we want to start with? Gary or Sunshine? Should we make it on a high note? Well, actually, they're both low notes. There's no high note from here.
Well, yeah, that's really not. Let's go Sunshine.
Okay, so how did you feel about him?
In the movie, I love his character.
Oh, I forgot that you have another thing that I was not even thinking of at the moment.
Right.
Okay, so in the movie, you loved his character. You had no issues with it, nothing.
No, not at all.
What did you think about the homosexual arc? Or maybe arc. I don't know.
I mean, it was not an arc. I took it as he was just doing it to screw with them.
And it's open for interpretation.
I mean, I very much thought that he was just doing it because he'd called him a fruitcake in the movie, and he was going with it just to lean into the...
I mean, that's a very valid, and that's what most people that I've read say. There are other people that believe that Disney was portraying him as gay. Now, the real person was not. No. He's married and with kids right now. He was not gay. It was during the time where gay rights was starting to brew a little bit.
Right.
At that time, apparently. And people were upset that this was portrayed this way because, I guess, a fear back when gay rights was starting from...
Was that what happened?
Right, from straight people was that, like, a gay person would, like, randomly make out with them in a locker room or something. Like, apparently that was a real fear. I have no idea. I don't know. But apparently that's what the articles say. So I do think, if that's true, that is a little insensitive to put something like that in this movie when really it doesn't have a purpose. Like, what did that arc bring to the movie?
I think it was more to be with the camaraderie. Like, just sometimes you just mess with people to mess with people, and that's part of being...
Yeah, but did it have to go there?
Yeah, it didn't have to. That's just... He chose to go that way, and it worked because it really got under Bertier's skin.
Well, okay, so I'll add this then. The whole him being a hippie from California with the long hair, and that's why they were calling him Sunshine.
Yeah.
He was really from California. He did not have long hair. In fact, Jerry is the one who had long hair.
Really?
Yes, and in fact, most of the players... Well, not players. Most of the students at that school did, in fact, have long hair, and that was not 70s. Uncommon. Right. So what people were saying is nobody would ever have called him out and said he was effeminate or anything like that because he had long hair. That was a common thing back then.
Right.
So in that way, it is also insensitive to then portray a character that has long hair as being gay when you know that's the culture of the time. So
it wasn't the long hair is related to him being gay. It was the long hair from him being from California and being part of that surfer guy.
Do long-haired surfer guys become gay more often than other men?
No, it had nothing to do with that. It had everything. It had nothing to do with him faking being gay. It had everything to do with him being from California.
If you say so, but they were definitely making fun of him in a way that seemed...
No, they're making fun of him for being from California. That's why they portrayed him with long hair. I don't think there's anything deeper there.
Okay, but I mean, that's not what the internet says. So
Okay, well, the internet is wrong.
I would like
as
to
they
believe
often
that.
are.
I would like to believe that because I don't think that... I didn't like that. That seemed off and not needed.
Right.
So, okay. So now, Jerry?
Well, we have to talk about the horrible thing that the actor did.
I was trying to avoid this, but okay. So the actor is Kip Pardue, I believe.
Yes. He was just recently involved in a bit of a scandal in terms of sexual assault on one of his female coworkers.
A lot of proof that he's not gay.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Do you want to say what he did? Because it was horrible, and I'm a woman, and I do not.
I was not going to talk about it. He was involved in that scandal, and if you want to look it up, you can. It was not good. It was very bad.
Yeah, it's one of those Me Too scandals where it's not like you're looking at it going, no, I wonder like if it's true or if somebody's out for money. Oh, no.
Oh, no, part of it is he said, it's not one of those Me Too things because I'm not your boss, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's bad, and the things, it's pretty detailed, so I'm pretty sure it's true. And I don't actually think he denied it. So.
No, which kind of ruins my feelings about him in this movie because his character was one of the better characters in this movie.
Yeah, it's awful. But anyway.
I do want to say that I love the unnecessary roughness. What, on the quarterback? Are you kidding? Scene? Great scene.
Sad part, he didn't do Tai Chi outside the school. I don't know if he actually did Tai Chi, but he did clarify that or the person who the character is based off never did Tai Chi outside the school. So,
for those of you who don't know what Tai Chi is, it's slow karate.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to watch. But anyway.
All right, now we can move on to Gary. Oh, Gary.
Okay, this is like the saddest way to end a podcast, but here we are.
Right in the field.
This is where we're going. So, so in the movie, let's start with the movie. I loved his character. Didn't see much.
Well, he started off kind of racist in the movie.
I think it's fair to say though that
it was institutionalism.
Institutionalized in lack of experience.
Right.
And he was very quick to accept. He didn't.
Right.
It wasn't something that he wasn't willing to do. He did. So right. I liked his character. I liked the way he was played. I like that he's the guy from Sons of Anarchy, because, I looked up a picture of him and, it's can't help it.
You're a fan of his beard. Let's be real here.
It is. It just is. It is what it is. And I've been told I'm weird because of last week's podcast because of my obsession with facial hair. And I don't care. So just letting y'all know. But
who called you weird for facial hair
Who
obsession?
do you think?
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I hate to agree with him, but...
Oh my God. Tyler disagreed with Matt Lewinsky.
Yeah.
It happened.
No.
Are we editing that out?
Probably.
Anyway.
So, you like Gary. Everyone likes Gary.
You can't not. I don't think there's anything... I haven't heard a lot about inaccuracies, except for, obviously, the obvious. But...
Well, yeah, that he didn't actually get hit by a car and paralyzed. His car had a mechanical malfunction and he hit a pole of some kind.
Right,
Very
and
sad.
the timing.
It was after the championship, so he played in all of the games.
Right.
So that whole emotional, he's watching the championship game from the hospital bed didn't happen, which is really a shame.
Right. Well, it's really a shame that didn't happen.
That he was watching from the sidelines because he was paralyzed when he actually played in all the games.
Oh, so it's really a shame that Disney chose to portray it that way.
Exactly. So it's really a shame that they misrepresented what actually happened.
Got it. I thought you were saying it was really a shame that he wasn't in the hospital bed. No. I was confused.
It's one of those things where it doesn't really add to the story to have him there. Like, yes, it does, but they could have had him play in the game and then have that as a little bit of a backup after, like... I mean, I understand they wanted to end on a high note, but...
Right. Okay.
They ended the movie at a funeral, so how do you do that?
Do you want to get to that?
Gary's awesome. He won an Olympic gold medal for Special Olympics.
Yep.
He was... Paralympics, not Special Olympics. Paralympics.
Yep. He traveled a lot for work.
Yep.
He lived 10 years after.
Yes. And him passing away had nothing to do with being paralyzed. He was hit by a drunk driver.
Yes.
Don't drink and drive.
It's
really
horrible.
Bad.
And the fact that 2 major accidents I just can't even get past that. That's just horrible and heartbreaking. But
the fatal car accidents are why car companies are making safer cars now. So
okay, so I guess he contributed to helping
other people?
I guess. Yeah. I don't... Horrible. Just horrible.
I love the line, "What are you, blind, Alice?" Or, "Alice, what are you, blind?" It's my brother.
Oh, I do too.
In the hospital.
Great and apparently, in real life, they... most of the players said that they were family members to get in. Because...
Yeah.
So...
Well, the whole team was there at the hospital in the movie. So I would imagine the same thing was also happening in real life.
Right. So... Okay, now that was terribly sad and horrible, do you have anything uplifting you want to end the podcast with?
No, I love this movie. It's one of the
uplifting thing I'll give you is there's a song called Titan Spirit that is an instrumental medley that is composed mainly of the film score during moments where Coach Boone gives inspirational speeches, and it's used a lot today. Actually, President Obama decided to use it as an outro for one of his speeches. It's New York Jets has used it, things like that. So if you want to look up...
But it's the Jets. We hate the Jets.
I know. I was hoping there was going to be a Massachusetts team, but...
They mentioned the Jets in this movie. Were the Jets ever good? Like, I don't understand. Were they good in the 70s?
I love how you always find a way to get rid of a group of our listeners. We wonder why our downloads drop.
But the Jets are terrible, and... I have to say that because I'm from New England and we all hate the Jets.
I do not condone that statement.
Do you like the Jets?
I'm pleading the fifth. I'm taking myself out of that. Anyway, so if you need something inspirational or uplifting to do after you've listened to this terrible podcast and just
it's not a terrible podcast. The best football speech of all time, goosebumps every time, uplifting thing.
And the song that I'm trying to get at that you keep interrupting me is very uplifting. So definitely listen to that because it at least makes you feel a little bit better. So gonna get into scoring the movie. I will say it got 73% on Rotten Tomatoes and 93% audience score. So just putting that out there, because I thought it was gonna get a higher score, to be honest.
I think that is a low score. That's surprising to me.
Right, but anyways, out of 10, what do you give it?
For one of my all-time favorite movies, it's got to be 9.25 minimum, like 9.25. Yeah.
Okay.
9.5 even. It's up there.
That's high. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't.
I like the movie, but I have to give it 8.5 because there was too many problems. I love the movie. I love the sentiment behind it, and if I didn't research the movie, I think my score would have been like a 9.5. But because I did the research behind the movie and I know the problematic things, I have to temper my score. Like, I just have to.
I can see that. I was rating it on the movie, not the research.
See, I can't separate the two.
Well,
it kind of reminds me of The Finest Hours, where I want to love the movie, but there's so many things that don't match up. The true story is
better.
Right.
And...
Right. It just doesn't match up, and that bothers me a little bit. But it's a Disney movie, so there's no way they're getting lower than an 8. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, anyway. So...
One thing that I have to mention before we go about this movie.
All right.
The real-life story was way more lopsided than the movie portrays it.
This was actually something you were saying right before, so.
Yeah. Well, it's just, in all of the games, they were all close games in the movie. This team outscored the opponents 357-45 with 9 shutouts.
Jeez, that's incredible.
That's insane dumb numbers. That's like Tom Brady Patriots numbers.
You went the Brady thing.
Yeah.
Brady crush. But.
So, all right, well, I'm done with that. We rated the movie. What's next week?
Next week is the winner of the poll. So we did a poll for, I believe I asked for a Thanksgiving movie, or I said I was struggling with a fall movie. And so the movie that won was Dark Crystal. Now, I don't really know how it fits into fall or Thanksgiving or any of those things, but I've also never seen the movie, so I don't know.
Me neither.
But it won.
All right.
So we're going to watch that, and I think then the final movie of November is a football movie. So we should be rounding it out pretty good. Yeah. I did not do audience ask, and just in case anybody noticed and wants to yell at me for it, I didn't even...
Blame Shay. There's a lot of that going around this episode.
I didn't even tweet out last week's episode. So it's been a...
Yeah, you want to know why our numbers are dropping.
Thanks, Mr. I never touch social media ever. But anyway, so yeah, it's been a stressful week, but we should be back on track this week.
Thank you for watching or listening.
Thank you for listening. I wanted to thank Jake at Athos Music for our intro and outro music, and I'm looking forward to Dark Crystal for next week.